Boom! Hello my AKAPADers, welcome to another video. I am your host, Peter A. DeLuca, AKAPAD, the eclectic one, the world sketchbook champion, that's right. So we're talking about failure, we're talking about this lust for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The MCU, as so many of us refer to. Now, the MCU is a legit thing. It happened. The MCU was predicted when we saw Endgame. A lot of reports, a lot of ideas, a lot of traction came out of Endgame and said they're going in this direction. I remember screenshotting articles that were like basically predicting or leaking one or the other. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes. Ironheart was coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I blasted that to all my friends, all my geek friends, and said, this is where it's going to crumble. This is where it's going to start to crack. I was crazy. I was told I was crazy. But then along the way, we have a Hawkeye show. Hawkeye's now a girl. We have a Loki show. Loki's now a female. Iron Man's now a female. I mean, they're all go. I mean, we have a Marvel's movie with 3 female Marvel girls, and we don't have the classic Captain Marvel, the Marvel, who's maybe Marvel's greatest cosmic superhero of all of them. I'm sorry, Silver Surfer fans. But now we have this. We have Kang. We have Quantumania, we have Ant-Man, we have another MCU replacement in Quantumania. But that's not really what we're talking about here. We're talking about a lot of these people that rooted for the failure of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, like some of these YouTubers, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, even EVS. And it doesn't mean that their criticism is valid. It 1000% is. That this is the same core that knew the Snyderverse was substantially more than what they could do. And based on what we've seen from James Gunn, you kind of have to back the Snyderverse at this point. It was a grand vision. It was a giant epic vision. The prediction of the crumbling of Star Wars, watch, you would only have to be crazy at one time to predict, to want, to even see and identify. But the way how Star Wars was eroded from the foundation up. But, a lot of us out here, we commentate on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We matriculate the information as it comes. Look, my Quantumania run and my Quantumania takes along the way have basically been dead on. But we do have to discuss the box office and the figures. And I do feel like we should never root for failure because there's thousands of jobs connected to these movies. We should root for failure when there's a complete rejection of the material that's vocal. Now, people not going to see Quantumania in maybe like a $200 million box office weekend, including today, President's Day. I point out there for today. I don't know why. But, we're hoping for failure. We're rooting for failure. And when I say we, I mean them. But at the same time, there's not a vocal rejection to the reason of Quantumania's box office numbers. It literally could be, and we've made this argument so much on this channel, it could be a mosaic. It could be a little bit of a long line with lots of different factors lined up a particular way to produce an end result. Economics. Now, that doesn't mean people were right or people were wrong, but I think so much right now of distraction that Quantumania is a failure. It's hyperbole. People are being reactionary. People want to be proven correct because, understandably, some people put months worth of content into trashing something before it actually comes out. But there does seem to be a legit core of people that are enjoying Quantumania for different reasons that I'm seeing across the board and all social media networks. Now, things that are popular to crap on that don't resonate later, there we go. In hindsight, we can make a call. But everything is too close to tell. Everything is we're too. It's just happened. Okay, it's just happened. History isn't prologue yet. But we do have the power of Disney Plus. We do have the ability of people to rediscover material and re-experience material via streaming. We will not see the full effects of a success or failure on Marvel's terms for a very long time. And this is very similar to if you want to take something like the NFL going woke during the protests and the riots and the Summer of Love, and you can there were a lot of indicators that they would never recover ratings wise. They were somewhat in a spiral. They were losing sponsorships. They were losing deals, and it just seemed very chaotic at one point. But for something like the NFL to run out of steam and run out of money, it's probably like a 20-year process. Similar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with the money that they have, period, just in that side of the company, just for the MCU itself, relating to nothing else. It's going to be a long spiral. It's going to be a painful spiral, but along the way, there's going to be gems and there's still going to be good stuff. But that doesn't mean things are failures out of the gate. That's not the world we live in anymore. Failures are down the road, and Disney Plus losing 2 million subscribers, 2.5 million subscribers, firing 7,000 employees literally means nothing if they're maintaining millions of subscribers at $20 a month. The money will be there. What some of the misses, and this is what people are not reporting on, it's the projections. And a lot of the projections were based on COVID numbers, because everyone's at home and people really thought it was the wave of the future. Those numbers, that data fooled a ton of people. So, with all of that being said, we cannot count out Quantumania in the long term or the short term. As of right now, we know that the box office is disappointing, and that's it. That's the only fact. Love you guys. Rock and roll, AKAPAD. Let's go!